I'm always finding more and more creative ways to start a vlog. Kind of takes me back to the Pontiac G8 days. Look, that's a thumbnail right there. So cheesy, but it works. All right, so anyway, guys, welcome back to the videos. Welcome back to the vlogs. I'm actually tired. People are probably like, dude, how the hell are you tired? Just started the video. Because we do work before the video. All right, so anyway, you can see, going by this crazy picture, I do have the rear end jacked up. So you guys don't believe me. You guys are like, nah. There's no way that you work on a car in a gravel driveway. Hey, look, proof. Again, once again, right here. I don't understand why people message me that when you guys clearly see that my cars are like in grass and on dirt and on a gravel driveway. Like, you see the video. It's proof right there. But anyway, we got the truck. We got the LS Blazer jacked up by the differential and jack stands basically. We're using that. And right now I'm actually popping the cover bolts. I'm popping the cover bolts out because I was basically doing some thinking. I told you guys in the last video that I was going to weld the diff, and I was really like considering, like, do I want to go with a spool just in case maybe one day I may want to upgrade from 28 spline axles up into 30 spline axles. So if I weld the diff, I won't be able to upgrade to 30 spline axles. Why? Basically because I'll be welding all the gears and everything all together, which means that if I want to upgrade to 30 spline axles, I would have to get another carrier basically to pop in, put a 30 spline spool in there, and then pop in 30 spline axles. I mean, it's really not a problem. I already priced carriers and stuff like that for probably about $100 to $200, even from the junkyards for like $50. So anyway, I'm gonna make this rear end bulletproof. I'm not gonna completely weld everything because I'm still gonna want to be able to use the C-clips that's inside of here, because I have not ordered any C-clip eliminators yet, because I need to measure the ends on the axle tube. All right, so that's enough talking. That's the intro to the video. I'm gonna pop the cover off, and then we're gonna start talking from there. All right. Ew, it's so nasty. Whoops. That was bad. That was completely bad. Oh man, wait, do I have my phone upside down? I don't know. Ooey, 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 ooey. Yeah, I'm not using my GoPro, but I'm still using my iPhone. There was a reason why I wanted to use my GoPro, because I kind of figured that was going to happen. All right, so here's a fun fact. The difference between the 8.2 and the 8.5 10 bolt. So pretty much like a 99% actual fact is that these little ears right here that you see with the dry spots, well, basically before I took the cover off. So basically, if you have these ears on your 10 bolt, you have an 8.5 inch ring gear. That's pretty much like a 99% fact. Let me see here. Let me spin one of these wheels here. Ooh, so pretty, so shiny. So as you guys can see, right in there, right here, this part right here. See this part right here? That's the axle that bottoms out, which really shouldn't bottom out. Like, it should probably be like a little bit of a millimeter, 2 millimeters distance between the two right there. But yeah, this rear has not been abused yet. So anyway, we're gonna weld all this up together. We're not gonna weld the ring gear, of course. We're just gonna weld all the gears together. And then once we're done this, like, we're gonna start here, then we're gonna go there. We're gonna weld the corners in, okay? Then lay like a real good thick bead going all through the gears. And then if we really want to bulletproof this rear end, you know, for the capability of 1,000 horsepower, we're going to weld the gears to the carrier casing itself. But prior to doing that, a real good weld job is that you actually want to heat up this metal. Like, get yourself like some MAP gas or like some propane or something. You want to get some MAP gas or like some propane, really like heat up the metal. Like don't freaking 2000 degree the metal. Like basically just heat it up, get it nice and warm and stuff like that. That's going to allow the metal to be, you know, conforming. You know, like your welds are really going to stick. Why am I looking like that? I should be looking over here at the camera. I don't even know which way to freaking look, because like the red bar on my phone is like upside down. So I wonder if I can probably flip that in the editor. All right, so anyway, what else was I saying? Yeah, heat up the metal. It's really thick. Lay a good bead. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, so heat up the metal. Blah blah blah. Lay a good bead. Do not, I repeat, do not. If you guys are gonna weld your diff, I repeat, do not water cool it. Like once you're done welding, let it air cool. I'm telling you, that's the like. I can't stress that enough. That's gonna be the last thing you wanna do. That's gonna be the last thing you wanna do is like really get this metal like really hot and then shock it with some water, because then your welds are gonna break prematurely and you're probably gonna have catastrophic failure. Right, so we spun it. So just like earlier, like I said, we gotta get the axles out. Had to take a little break, had to take a pee break. Basically we gotta take this pin out. This pin, or this bolt is gonna allow us to slide this pin out. Let me shimmy over. Darn it, I already locked up the rear wheels. I had to put the parking brake on. Emergency brake. As you can see, I don't have the drive shaft in yet, so we can't put it in park. So earlier, yeah, once we move this pin out, remember that steel shaft that was right in there? That's going to allow us to push the axles in, take the C-clips out on both sides, and I'm going to put this pin back in, tighten this back up. That way all my gears and everything don't fall out when I take it over to the welder. No, they're coming to get me. All right, so we pulled the pin out. A lot of people will like do this with the pin facing down, which is like still cool, but then the pin falls and stuff like that, and I don't want to do that. I like to basically just like stick my fingers in, give it like a little tug, because like this thing sits in oil, set in oil its whole entire life, so it's always going to slide in and out. Okay, because you can see that that bolt went through here, locked in this little drift pin. Now you're able to slide this out. That's it. And you can tell it only goes one way because the hole is only on one side. And I'm gonna set this aside out of the line of fire. So the next thing I gotta do is I gotta pop off this bolt here, and I gotta do the same thing on the other side also. But I gotta free up the brakes, which is weird too, because like if you look up some of these videos on YouTube, people will say like, oh, once you get the pin out, push the wheels in. How the hell are you gonna push the wheels in if you got the drums right there resting up against the backing plates? You know what, let me try it. I just don't see how. You gotta be freaking kidding me. It actually worked. I'm like befuddled. I don't even know like how it sunk in or why it sunk in. I'm guessing probably because like that little bit of space that's between the drum and the backing plate, once you basically push on the wheel, that closes. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm pretty sure there's other people out there in the world that are like, how far are you gonna push on the damn wheels? They're not gonna go anywhere. And like you guys are probably thinking the same thing I was thinking, like, nah, that's BS. It actually worked. So I'm getting ready to spin this around. This is what I'm talking about. See, like I'm getting ready to spin this around. And everything's getting ready to fall out. That's what I don't want. And I kind of want to like just spin this. But you can see all the gears are just going to start falling all over the place. Because you can see that that top gear had fell back there, and this bottom gear here is coming out. You see that? But what is exposed is the C-clips. That's what I wanted, baby. Oh yeah. And then basically once you get these Probably knock it off with my finger. Probably so. Almost got it. Almost. Kind of got it. I don't know. I may still have to pull the wheels off just to get it. Basically like to push the axles in a little bit more. Like take the drums and stuff off too. This might be a two-part video. You guys will definitely know in a couple seconds, but I still have to take off these bolts right here. Dun, 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 dun. All right, the diff is out. Everything is laid out. We got the caps in the orientation right here. We got the guide plates, and we got the bearings. I like to call those bearings too. We all got them laid out, all three pieces. Basically, push your axles in, pull your C-clips off. Once you get the C-clips off, you can pull the axles out like a good bit. You can see like the drums and stuff are still on both sides. Once you take those two bolts out right there, those are 16s, pop those caps off. You can pull the whole carrier off. So you can see I got all 4 spider gears right there. I got I forget what I call this thing. Basically the bolt shaft, and we got the bolt. We got the entire carrier off. Don't worry, I was very gentle. I didn't slam it on the gravel. Now we're gonna haul it off to the weld shop. All right, so maybe I should get rid of the hissing line. All right, so we're at the weld shop, and we got the differential out. We got everything set up. Basically, here are some bearings right here that rest on these spider gears over here. Since we're welding up the diff, we're really not going to need those. We got our 3/4 deep impact socket. Remember guys, it's going to be righty loosey, lefty tighty. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the ring gear off. That way we don't get any splatter BBs on here, because once you do, the ring gear is going to be done. I don't care what anyone says, because you're never going to get those BBs off. So let me get this part off. Ooh-wee, that's a lot of freaking heat. Evidently, you can see here on the right side, we still had some oil remnants in there. That's why it bubbled up like that. But yeah, you really want to get in there and really, I got to touch up that corner down there. You really want to get in there and lay some metal into it. And look, we got BBs. Ring gear is shot. Probably going to have to replace the ring gear. All right, so we're done. Well, we were like in press for time when we were at the weld shop, so I really couldn't get any shots of the welding of the diff. But basically the diff is back at the gravel garage. We already installed it, because like pretty much when I got back, it was kind of like, all right, we got it, cool. It warmed down. Yo, this diff was hot for probably like a good 6 hours. Like it was like really still holding some heat, because like I was saying earlier in the clips, that you really want to go in there and like really lay some metal into this diff. Sorry, so I'm not going to be talking very much. Basically, like I said, the diff is in, it's all welded up, everything's buttoned back up, the axles are back in and on, the wheels are on, but the wheels aren't, you know, snugged down and stuff like that, torqued down, because I am going to be replacing the wheel cylinders. That way we can start running our brake lines and stuff like that. So I'm gonna give you guys a shot of what's going on, and that's basically the end of the video. Let's see if I can scoot out here. That way I can see if I can show you guys how both wheels. Oh yeah. So as you can see, we got the center pilot pin in, we got that locking nut in, and both wheels are going to be chirping at the same time. I'm getting ready to run down to the auto store, O'Reilly's or something like that, Advanced Auto, go get me some Royal Purple gear fluid. Video's not sponsored, by the way, but everything's all in. I'll show you guys here. Where is my locking pin? I kind of overdid it with the Loctite, but you know, since this is a welded diff, I want everything to really be in there. So you can see like a whole lot of splatter. The new ring gear is on, and yeah, like we really went in there and laid some metal. It looks butchered, but like I kept going back over it and back over it and back over it. But yeah, the diff is all welded up, man. All welded up. Everything is like torqued down. We got the diff cover. I was trying to think like getting an aftermarket diff cover, but I'm like, hey, why? I can always probably like do that later. The main focus was to get the diff welded up, get the cover back on, cleaned up and stuff like that. And it really came out really, really good. It really did. Yeah, you can see like one of the brake lines actually came off. Like it was already rotted, so I took it off, bent it back out the way and stuff like that. But if you look over here on this side, yeah, this thing is really, it's all like really just surface rust. It's like caked up oil, surface rust and stuff like that. Like the axle seals on this side is still cool. I mean, both sides. The axle seals are still cool. It's not leaking and stuff like that. It's just that this thing, please ignore that battery cable. Okay, I know it looks stretched, but it's really not stretched. I am gonna fix that. I know someone's in the comments is gonna be like, dude, look at that battery cable. But if you look up there, you see right there, you can see like a lot of slack. So I'm basically gonna rerun that, run it on that side, and then nut and bolt everything down. So ignore that part, all right? There's always someone in the comments, dude, look at that battery cable. Your work is horrible. Yeah, I know my work is horrible, but I get it done. So like I said, a lot of this is actually just surface rust. A lot of this is gonna get cleaned up and hit with the industrial diesel powered pressure washer. We're gonna probably clean up the drums or probably just get new ones depending on how much they are. So that's it. All right, so anyway guys, that's gonna conclude today's video on the welded diff. I wonder what I should title this. Probably how not to weld a diff. But anyway, it's hoodie season. This is actually an old design right here too. Like when you guys order your hoodies, all the lettering is gonna be fully white, because I was really reading a whole lot of feedback and comments and stuff like that. They were just saying like they really didn't like the faded look. Like this is a sample anyway. Like the lettering isn't gonna be as faded as this one. This is like original design. Please don't sting me. Anyway, like I said, this is an original design. It's hoodie season. Get your hoodies. They're actually marked down because hoodie season is actually getting ready to start. That's going to conclude today's video. I got my new fuel rails in from Jegs, and like, yo, I really got to tell you guys something, but I don't want to spoil it in this video. Stay tuned for my next video. I got the fuel rails in, and it's quite a surprise with the new fuel rails. But anyway, like I said, Jegs made good on their warranty. That's all I got to say. So that's going to conclude today's video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I am out.